Hello there and welcome to Behind the Finds. This is my second episode here on the brand new channel, and of course the first episode was where we went to see the Finds Liaison Officer and hand in all those amazing finds. Well, we've got a special episode for you this week because of course recently over on the main channel, which is Onlymeagain Metal Detecting, I went out and found an amazing 700 years old gold coin. It was a gold hammered coin of Edward III and it was a quarter noble, and trust me, it was an amazing moment. I did the dance. It was a bit of an embarrassing one, but hey, I had no control of my body and I thoroughly enjoyed the moment. I've cherished it. They don't come around very often, so when they do, you've really got to make the absolute most of them. But anyway, in today's video, we are going to be doing something that I have been waiting to do for about 2 weeks. Honestly, ever since I found it, I have wanted to get this done. But I thought, no, I'm going to wait until I can film it, and then hopefully I can show everybody how easy it is to do this kind of thing. You know, you don't have to send it off to a specialist and things like that. It's relatively easy to do. And of course, what am I talking about? Well, I am talking about straightening that bent hammered coin. When I found the coin, it was bent in half. It was a bit buckled, a little bit of damage on there as well. I've done a bit of an inspection and I think that it's going to be more than achievable to do, and I literally can't wait to do it. So let's jump straight into getting this coin nice and straight and flat, and hopefully the results are going to be outstanding, so stay tuned for that. So here is that gold hammered coin that I found on the video in all of its splendid glory. What an amazing little coin this is. It's just something about gold, isn't it? You can see why for so many years this stuff has been so precious to people, because, you know, although this is bent and busted and, you know, it's got a few creases in it, that's probably the worst part there. It came out shiny. It came out almost exactly as it sort of was minted, really. And that is the thing with gold. It lasts forever. You really have to be quite mean to it in order to be able to destroy it. So yeah, we've got this coin here, and our objective in this video is we are going to turn this gold coin into something that resembles something a little bit like this. So yeah, we are going to try and get that gold coin looking like this gold coin. Now this is a different Edward III quarter noble, but as you can see, it is flat, it is straight, there's no creases in it at all. It's almost perfect. It's an absolutely great example of an Edward III quarter noble gold coin. And yeah, we're going to have a little bit of work to do, aren't we, to try and get the other one looking a little bit like this one. But don't worry, I'm going to show you step by step how I'm going to achieve it. I do this to silver coins as well as gold coins, and I have worked on a few gold coins before, one of them being the larger angel, which was from about the 1500s, and that came to me really bent and buckled, and I managed to sort that out for somebody and they were really super chuffed with it. So let's have a go at doing a nice gold coin today. Let's see if we can get it to come out nice and flat, nice and straight like this. And yeah, let's get straight to it. So we are going to need a few tools in order to be able to get this coin nice and straight and nice and flat. The first thing we're going to need is a couple of wooden implements. I've got a nice big rolling pin here, and I love using this rolling pin because it's got nice flat bottoms there, which are great for sort of squashing down coins but not leaving any damages in there because it's quite a soft wood. I've got another implement here, which is obviously a sort of spatula type thing, but this is primarily used really just for coin work and things like that, as you can probably tell, because there's already a few imprints in here of previous coins that have been worked on. But the main tool, the most important tool we are going to need is going to be a type of flame, because we are today going to be using the process of annealing. Now, annealing, you've probably seen another video that I did recently, or not recently, quite some time ago actually, where I straightened a Elizabeth I hammered coin, and we did that in a very similar process. Now, silver is relatively easy to work, but gold is even easier. And that is what always amazes me when people send their coins off to specialists, because I just think, well, gold is such an easy metal to work. It really is. So you can't really go too wrong with gold. But silver, there is definitely a risk of snapping. So Personally, I think silver coins are the worst ones to work with, but hey, this is what we're going to use today. So we've got a nice jewellery flame here and a couple of wooden tools. And then basically all we're going to need is something to put it down flat on. So I'm going to use a wooden chopping board. And we're also going to need something that we can use whilst we're heating up the coin that isn't going to burn. So I usually use like the bottom of the frying pan or something like that. So those are the tools we're going to need. Nice and simple, nothing special here at all. These can all be purchased for very, very few pounds or dollars or whatever you prefer. And yeah, let's get straight into getting this coin nice and straight. Okay, so I've got the bottom here of a cast iron frying pan or dish or whatever it is you want to use. But yeah, cast iron's always a good shout because it's pretty good at sort of retaining heat. So we want something that's going to be able to be, you know, flame retardant, but also not stick to the coin or anything like that, which is why something like this is absolutely perfect. So we are going to get our amazing little hammered coin here, and we are going to put it here on one of the grooves so that it stands up nicely. Now, with silver and annealing, you would usually do something called quenching, and that is where, of course, you heat the coin up so that it's cherry red, drop it in some cold water. That gives you a limited amount of time to be able to work on the coin. With gold, you don't need to quench it, trust me, you just don't. It's nice and soft and it's easy to work. So what we're going to do is slowly heat this coin up until it's cherry red, and then we are going to begin to bend it out very, very gradually without doing any of the quenching that's needed, okay? So with gold it will give you a certain amount of time to work on the coin. That basically means that there's only going to be a limited amount of time that you can start to move this coin without visible cracks, tears, or anything like that forming in the coin. And that is why you wouldn't quench a gold coin, because the good thing is that you can see once it's cherry red, well, as soon as that cherry red is gone, I would say you've probably got about 3 to 5 seconds to work with it until you have to heat it up again, okay? So it's a relatively simple process, but with silver, you can heat it up till it's cherry red, drop it in water, and then of course you've got, you know, a little bit more time, I'd say about 10 seconds or so to work with it until you then have to heat it up, drop it in the water, bend it, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, we are going to go straight in now with a bit of flamage and get this gold coin cherry red, and then I will be able to show you gradually what I'm going to do, how I'm going to use the implements to bend this out. It's going to be very gradual, it's not going to be a quick thing, so I'll try and make this as video friendly so it's not boring as possible. But yeah, let's get this done and get the flame started. Okay, so we are just wavering it over the coin. We're not really holding it in one spot. And of course, what we want to see is the whole coin go cherry red. There's no point in just trying to focus on the outer bead. We pretty much want this whole thing to go cherry red because, you know, it's going to be pretty impossible to try and just warm up the middle of it without anything else going. So here we go, you can see now that is glowing cherry red. That is absolutely perfect. Now from that point, I would say about now is the time that you would stop working on that coin, because it's no point, it's cooled down and it's lost its sort of softness. So by heating up the coin to a sort of cherry red, you change the metallic compounds of the metal so that they're kind of moving, they're jumping around, and that means they don't mind being reformed. But the minute it calms down and it cools down, it almost sets. And that's the point where if you try and do anything with this coin, you're going to make cracks and dents and horrible creases and stuff like that. So that's one of the most important parts, is to work within the time scale that you've got basically with the type of metal. So yeah, I'm going to do that again, and this time as soon as it goes cherry red, I'm going to take it over onto the board and I'll show you very quickly how I'm going to be able to just slowly start to begin bending this coin out. Okay, so we've heated the coin up. We're probably over a little bit of time now, but this coin is so soft now already. I mean, it is ridiculously soft. You can probably see that we've already managed to bend out that big crease quite considerably, okay? So I'm not going to try any more for a minute. I'm going to wait and I'm going to heat this coin up once more, and then we're going to try and just bend it out once more, and then I think we're going to heat it up again, and we can probably get away with 3 times. That is how easy gold coins. That is how easy gold coins are to work. Trust me, you could almost do this by hand. There is no effort really needed. You just have to know your metal, know your time that you can work it, and do it very, very gradually, okay? So there we go, that's the first one done. Let's stick it back on the pan, heat it up again, and yeah, hopefully we can bend it out even more. Okay, so we're just going to flip it over so that we've got that side, hold it down there and just bend it out a little bit more. We really don't have to go crazy on it because, you know, there is no rush. The slower you do it and the more gradual you do it, the better results you'll get. So I'm not going to do any more on this occasion. As you can see, we're already much better than what we were with this coin originally, and I think it's just going to need to be heated up 1 more, maybe 2 more times, and I think we're going to be able to get this nice and flat. So again, let's do that now. Throw it back on the pan, get it glowing red. Okay, at this stage we're just going to try and squeeze it down very gently, very gently. Perfect. Like that. I can already tell straight away that the time that we've got to bend this coin out has finished, because it literally goes from moving so easily like butter to nope, that's it, I'm done completely bending now. So we know that we're pretty much at the end of that time period. But there we go, look, it is looking much better, right? So I think 1 more time heating this up, and then we can have a look at the crease mark here and see if we need to do any more work to this crease mark to get rid of that as well. Remember, gold is really soft, so how you want to sort of squash this down is up to you. But as I say, I use a wooden rolling pin, but really don't push down very hard on it because you might actually squash down some of the details as well. So we're using wood underneath, wood on the top, and hopefully, you know, we can yeah, get this looking pretty good. I might actually just be able to use the handle of this spatula, which is almost the perfect size. So let's give that a go and see if that works. So let's heat it up again. Okay, straight in with the handle of the spatula, and there we go. Perfect. I'm just working on that crease line at the moment, trying to get it all as flat as humanly possible. I mean, currently, as it stands, that's a very flat coin. And that is leaps and bounds better than what we had this coin originally. So I'm gonna wait for it to cool down, pick it up, have a bit of a closer inspection. I just want to see this crease to see if there's a little bit more work we need to do with the crease mark. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so here is our progress so far. Coin is nice and flat, nice and straight. Couple of little crease marks in here. You can see one just going through there, which is where the main bend was. But we can definitely work on that, get rid of that, so that's not a problem. This side here, yeah, I mean, again, not too bad, just those couple of little crease marks here. You can feel them if you go over it with your finger as well. So just going to have to concentrate on those areas and see if we can just squash those down. So that means we're probably going to have to heat it up a couple of times, but what an amazing coin. Much better than it was already. So it's glowing nice and cherry red now. That is absolutely perfect for the final one. So the hotter we can get this, the better, really. There we go. I think that's perfect. Let's put it on there, get the rolling pin, and just do a final squash. Now, really don't need to be pushing hard here. You just need a tiny little bit of pressure, okay? And that is pretty much then going to make sure that the coin is nice and flat. Okay, we're not here to squash any of the details. We're just here to make sure that this coin is nice and straight and flat and it's crease free. But yeah, I think that is pretty much job done. Now, of course, the benefit of working with gold, is it hot? No, it's not. The benefit of working with gold to silver is that silver will tarnish, because even though you might have something that's 925 silver, it will always have impurities in it, which means that when you heat it up to do your annealing, it's going to go black because of all the oxidization that comes out of those impurities. Gold, on the other hand, as long as it's nice high carat gold, so this is easily got to be what, 24 carat, isn't it? It's medieval gold. I can't imagine they were going to water this down too much. Yeah, it always comes out really, really nice. So all we're really going to need to do to this is give it a little bit of a scrub under the water, and I think it's going to come out really nice. So let's do that now. Let's do the final reveal, and I'll show you what this coin looks like after it's been cleaned and straightened. Okay, so that is us pretty much done with this amazing gold hammered coin. Just to let you all know, I did have to heat it up one more time because there was one tiny little bit of crease mark still visible, which I had to get in and do a little bit of extra work to, but it was only one more heat, and then I literally put it under a tap with a toothbrush, gave it a scrub, and it has come up really, really well. So I'll show you that one in a second, but that is how easy it is, honestly. If you've got coins at home, it's worth trying it too, but I must stress that, you know, I've done this a few times, so I know the points at which to stop. And that is very important when it comes to working with coins, especially valuable coins like gold coins and things like that. So it can be really easy, but practice certainly makes perfect. As I say, I've done a few coins for other people before where they've sent them to me and I've straightened them out and sent them back, and they've been really, really happy with them as well. And I would say to everybody that if you've got any coins that you want to have a go at, then please hit me up with questions. I'm more than happy to help you out. And if you're really not comfortable in doing it yourself, then just send it to me. I'll quite happily have a go at it for you and send it back. So yeah, I hope you'll learn something in this video today, but let's have a look at the coin now, because honestly, it looks fantastic.